Business Today is brought to you by...
Shouldn't banking start with you? After all, it's your life and we're just one part of it. So no matter what life throws at you, at Scotiabank we guide you through it with people who actually listen and with services that enable what matters most to you. Because at Scotiabank, it starts with you.
This is Business Today. I'm Sandy Dean. It's not smooth sailing for Barbados' cruise sector. In fact, Tourism Minister Kerrie Symmonds frankly says the sector is in crisis. He noted that while the island welcomed a record 800,000 cruise visitors last year, Barbados is not getting maximum benefits and is performing below its regional neighbors. Citing a 2015 study conducted by the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association, examining visitor spend among other issues, Minister Symmonds said Barbados is earning significantly less from the sector. He disclosed that the average visitor spend in Barbados last year was around $78 compared to US 120 in the region.
Last year we had a record year, so we were told, and 800,000 passengers passed through the Bridgetown Port. But if each of those 800,000 passengers had spent 100 United States dollars more in the way that they spent the 100 United States dollars in St. Thomas, for example, or in St. Martin, for example, then Barbados would have benefited from 80 million United States dollars in revenue. And if my understanding of what transpired last year in St. Thomas is correct, that in fact you may be about just slightly over 200 United States dollars. The truth of the matter is that we could be earning approximately 110 million United States dollars if we were on par and on pace with the major competitors in this region.
Coupled with the low spend, Symmonds revealed that guest satisfaction is also down, pointing to the outcome of a 2015 study conducted by the Business Research Economic Analysis Forum. He said the island was found wanting in a number of critical areas.
We fell from 10th in 2008-2009 out of 35 in terms of guest satisfaction to 24th out of 35 in 2014-15 with respect to guest satisfaction. And the areas which faced the steepest decline were areas of the shopping experience in Barbados, the shoreside welcome, as in when you get off the boat, how you are welcomed into Barbados, overall prices experienced across this destination, and the courtesy of store employees in the destination. And quite frankly, all of those things are issues about which we as Barbadians have complete control over.
Government has appointed a 15-member National Development Cruise Commission to probe issues affecting the sector over a 12-week period. Former Governor of the Central Bank of Barbados, Dr. Delisle Worrell, is proposing that government leases the Grantley Adams International Airport and the Bridgetown Port to secure much-needed revenue and generate jobs. In this month's economic newsletter, Worrell says letting the island's two main ports of entry is the most lucrative privatization option available to the Mia-Mottley government. Noting that the operation of ports and airports by private firms was now commonplace in developed countries, Dr. Worrell says such a move would provide Barbados with a dependable source of income, international investment, new markets, and line of business. The Barbados Chamber of Commerce says government's decision to default on its foreign debt payments and the subsequent downgrade by rating agency Standard & Poor's is taking a toll on businesses. In a statement issued on Monday, the BCCI said while it anticipated the downgrade, the ramifications of these downgrades makes it increasingly difficult for businesses who rely on imports to continue their operations, as their creditworthiness and by extension their respective payment terms in external markets are negatively affected. The BCCI urged the government to return to meeting obligations to creditors and service providers as soon as possible. It pledged to stand shoulder to shoulder with the country during these difficult times. And now for today's financial tip. It's a good idea to pay your bills immediately after you get paid so that you know how much money you have to work with for the rest of the month. The sooner you pay bills, the less you have them hanging over your head and risk having to pay late payment fees. That's been the business today. You can get more business and news by logging on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribing to our e-paper, and liking us on Facebook.